Okay.
Where would you want to start?
Well, here we are on Mount Gordo, and we're showing you something that you've seen probably 1,000 times before. We've all been up here to see the Mount Gordo ghost. She just kind of stands there. She's looking all lonely. She's got the name of her killer underneath the bottom of her. We've all seen these. There's thousands of videos on YouTube about this ghost. And we're up here, we just wanted to briefly touch on what we're talking about. This is the Mount Gordo ghost. It's, like I said before, if you don't know what she is, you can look up tons of videos that kind of explains and shows in greater detail all her dynamics. Like when you get close, she disappears. We don't want to rehash a lot of the stuff that we already know. This is kind of a I'm not trying to make new mystery hunters. I'm not trying to leave you out, but this is for the more advanced mystery hunters. We've found some stuff. Johnny and I have been. I'm wild, by the way.
Johnny.
I didn't mean to hijack it, but we found a lot of stuff. And it seems to all pertain to Mount Gordo and some connections that I promise if you watch to the end of the video, you're definitely going to see some things you probably have not seen before. And if you have seen these things that we're going to talk about before, please let us know, because I want to see that information myself. Now, the Mount Gordo ghost, I'm going to walk over here where she spawned at. For those of you who know, her name is Jolene Cranley Evans. Okay, usually when she's here, it says the name Jock Cranley written here in blood, right underneath where she stands. Down below is the Mount Gordo lighthouse, and as the story goes, Jolene Cranley Evans and Jock Cranley, who is another character in the game, he's running for governor. They were married, and they were taking care of Jolene's ailing parents that supposedly lived down there in the house underneath or beside the lighthouse. Well, Jock had aspirations of becoming a stuntman and an actor in Los Santos, but Jolene didn't want to leave. Now, as luck would have it, they went for a walk one night, and Jolene fell to her death. The police kind of did some investigating. They asked Jock some questions, and he said he didn't do it, and so they never officially charged him. But every night at 11 o'clock, it's 2300 hours here on Mount Gordo at this particular spot. She appears for 1 hour in game time. I think it's like what, a minute, 2 minutes, Johnny. I think.
Yeah,
I think it's 2 minutes. I think is an hour in GTA. I think every 30 minutes I think every 30 seconds represents an
hour.
How's that go?
I think it is every 30 seconds is an hour. I think.
Yeah, it's like the day cycle. The day cycle in GTA equals 48 minutes equals 24 hours. So you did the math on it. I've got that down, but my brain is escaping me right now. But anyway, so we have found some things. Now, this is stuff that most of you mystery hunters already know. So what you probably have wondered is why here, and the house down there. If you really dug into the backstory, you know that there's someone that lives in that house down there that is a very suspicious and weird, and you can even say batshit crazy character. I think Johnny said that she was what?
Not boxed up right was the one I used. Not boxed up right.
She's not boxed up right. He said that, and I about died laughing. So it's funny. She's not, and her name is Ursula, and she's not boxed up quite right. She is definitely a space cadet, that is for sure. There's some things. You find Ursula on the side of the road. She's walking, and she's hitchhiking, and you can pick her up with Franklin, Trevor, and Michael. Some people don't know that you can pick her up with Michael, but you can. She also has, she's one of the random encounters that you can actually take to the altruist camp. Now, in my own personal experience with Ursula, there's some crazy things that have happened. One time I took her to the altruist camp with Trevor, and it was the last delivery that I was making. They took Trevor and Ursula into the camp.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if Ursula got away or whatever, but after that happened, you can still call Ursula up. And I've actually taken Ursula to the camp, and they took her in there,
Yeah.
and they killed her, and still you can get her phone number online and call it, and she'll come back, even though she's supposedly dead.
Right.
There was one time with Franklin, I called her up and went to pick her up at the boathouse, and I had thrown a sticky bomb there before I called her. And when she spawned in, I blew her up with the sticky bomb. Well, she calls Franklin and says, "You've ruined it. You've ruined everything." And so you try to call her again, she won't answer the phone. She just completely ignores him, or you get a busy signal. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But you can call her with any of the other characters. You can get her phone number, and you can call her, and she'll answer, even though she's been blown to smithereens. She's
okay.
a crazy character. Now, let's go down there, Johnny. Let's go down to her house, and let's look at some more things. And if you guys will stick with us, I guess we'll have to take separate choppers.
Yeah.
We've been having trouble staying in the same stream with each other. It keeps falling out. We just decided to take 2 choppers. That way, it just works out better.
That's it. Blame technical
We're gonna
difficulties.
ease down here. Yeah, it happens. We're going to show you some stuff here about Ursula's house. Before we get into some other things, this is just a touch base on stuff that we already know. This is a refresher, and then we're going to get into the new stuff. And I promise you, you're going to find some new stuff. Now, one of the things that we found odd about Ursula is the conversation from where you pick her up at by the Alamo Sea to her house the first time. She talks about how whichever character asks her, they say, "Why didn't you just call somebody?" And she says, "Well, I don't really have anybody, and now that Mama's dead." And then she says, "I have her hair in my backpack." Okay, that's odd. She has hair in her backpack. Then she goes into talking about how she lives out here, and the birds drive her crazy, that she lives on soup made from old soup. And then she talks about how the gardener, she said, people like to talk. She said the gardener used to come out there on Fridays until he got sick and fell off that cliff. The gardener used to come on Fridays until he got sick and fell off that cliff. Well, we're standing in Ursula's garden. Later in the conversation, she also says that she likes to come out back and play with, look at the pretty, pretty flowers. She loves to come out in the garden. Later on, when you pick her up for a booty call, and if I failed to mention that before, she talks about she's binging on soil again, or she's burying a little problem. Another thing she says is the last guy that picked her up choked to death on his own hand. Folks, I'm here to tell you that I believe Ursula is some type of serial killer, because she keeps her mom's hair in her backpack. Some guy, the gardener got sick and fell off the cliff. She talks about the last guy choked to death on his own hand. And then when you're doing the booty call with Ursula, she says, "Lick my scars." And then she talks about Johnny. And we're going to get into that in a second, the Johnny. Stick with me. I've got something pretty amazing on that. Now, here's the thing. Now, a few months ago, I was up here gouging around, and I found something kind of interesting. There is a video that someone has made and put on here on YouTube about this very same thing we're going to show you. Trippy Dagger has got the video. I don't know if he and I found it at the same time, or if he saw something I posted in one of Trippy Commentary's videos, one of his live streams. I don't know. I'm not taking anything away from anybody. If he found it, bully for him. If he didn't, then fine. I'm glad the information's out there.
Yep.
I want to show you something very, very particular. If Johnny can, if you can show everybody right here, yeah, right there. Shine your light. Shine your light.
Yep.
Okay. Because I got to keep remembering that we're looking through Johnny's camera, not mine. So in this light, you shoot the ground here, and that's dirt mixed with rock.
Yep.
Okay, shine it on this wheelbarrow, Johnny.
Yep.
Right here behind you, the wheelbarrow right
Oh.
behind you. Shine it on that. Okay. Okay, see, now this thing is made out of metal.
Ah, yours is on a different side than mine. That's a bit strange. Yours is in front of you. My wheelbarrow's here. I'm shooting my wheelbarrow here.
Really?
Yeah, you've got a wheelbarrow on the other side. Mine's next to the pumpkins in this bed. I'm literally looking at mine now. It's in front of me on the floor.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes, and yours is over here.
That is metal. Okay, look, guys.
I can shoot it. There you go.
This is dirt.
Yep.
And if you can hear the sound, this is dirt. And the wheelbarrow, shoot the wheelbarrow, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely metal that.
Okay, now the wood right here by the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, definitely wood.
That's wood. Now the pumpkin.
Yeah.
They're
Fun
pumpkin.
target practice.
But the patch right here, it's a metal plate, guys. This is a metal plate.
Yeah.
Trippy Dagger did a video on this. Dibs Gaming mentioned this in one of his videos. And like I said, I was pointing this out quite a while ago in Trippy Commentary's live stream.
Yeah.
And this is a metal plate. Now, one of the times when you call her, she says I can't come right now because I'm burying a little problem in her garden. The gardener got sick and fell off that cliff. Check this out. You've got to start paying attention to the dialogue. I've noticed on some live streams people talk through the dialogue. You can't do that, man. You've got to listen to every tiny little thing that these people are saying. Over here, same thing. There's metal, and then in the center, there's some part here. I think it's here where it's dirt.
Yeah.
So you've got the metal, and you've got dirt. And just so you know, there's like a washing machine, and that's dirt too. You shoot this stuff, even this container here. You shoot this, and you see metal bullet holes. So Rockstar didn't just make a mistake. I was wondering at first, did they just make a mistake scripting this stuff? Did they put the wrong sound? But it's not just sound. They would have had to have made a double mistake because it's not just the sound, it's the bullet holes.
Yeah,
The actual
definitely.
bullet hole textures are metal. Why would the dirt be metal? I think Ursula is some kind of serial killer. Now, why would she be a serial killer? Well, maybe she had a really jacked up childhood. Maybe she was sexually molested by her father. Maybe she was beaten up by her father. I don't know. I'm kind of believing that since Jock Cranley and Jolene Cranley lived here, that Ursula could possibly be their daughter. I can't prove that. I don't know. Johnny, who was it that did the video about Ursula being some kind of witch?
Oh, that was quite recently, wasn't it? I know Trippy's done one recently. I know Trippy Commentaries, he's done one. RJ, he's done one recently. There's been quite a few. Did who was it now? Sorry, I don't want to say the wrong name, to be honest. And I couldn't say. I definitely know that Trippy's done it recently.
Yeah, well,
because I remember seeing one of his streams.
There is a video or two talking about Ursula from a previous GTA game being on the radio, and she's a witch. I don't know. I heard the clip, but I haven't seen that myself. I've seen the video. I haven't played that game, but You know.
Yeah, it was a video.
Supposed to be a
If I
witch.
remember rightly, it was an outtake of the one I was
Right.
thinking of was an outtake off. Was it Vice City or something? It was another game, and it was off a radio station. And it was Ursula talking about a woman called Ursula talking about being a witch.
We see now that kind of throws me off. Now, if that's Vice City was supposed to be Miami, this is California. That's literally from coast to coast. If she was local, then what is she doing out here? I mean, I don't know. I guess she could travel. But now think about this. Think about this. Oftentimes, serial killers keep mementos of their killers.
Yeah, true.
She's burying. She says, "I've got a little problem to bury now." She's out here in the garden, and then whenever you bring her up here for a booty call, she goes, "Lick my scars," and she goes, "Johnny's back, Daddy." She's crazy. I mean, she's talking about Daddy, Johnny, and John Cranley's first name is John. How do you know that? I can show you this. I can actually show you this here in a minute.
Yep.
And we've got a few more crazy things to show you. Now, you might not have seen this, but we have crazy. You got metal over here. You got dirt there. This garden. There's some weird stuff going on in the garden, guys. And if you go back and you look and you listen to everything Ursula says on the trip here, she says some really weird stuff. Don't just write it off as some psychobabble stuff from a crazy lady. Listen to everything she says. It's really something. I want to show you something else. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say while we're here. Oh, yeah. For some reason, and I don't know why, but for some reason, Johnny, you just have to keep up. I keep
man.
through my camera.
Yes, I'm following you. So good.
But somewhere along this area in single player, the Epsilon, the tractor that you get from Epsilon,
Yes, you do.
program, spawns. So I don't know what that's about. That's crazy.
Is it the same tractor, or is it just one that's very similar?
I think it's the exact same one. Now, to be honest, I got the Epsilon tractor the first time, and I never. Every time I've done a playthrough, I've never went back and done it that way because I always went to 2 million.
Yeah.
So I can become a billionaire in the end.
That's
Which
it, yeah.
I've done it like on 4 different streams or 4 different programs.
Yeah.
But now, let's say the next thing we want to look at is the booty call, where she spawns at for the booty call. Let's go there. We're going to the boathouse over in Sandy Shores.
Yep,
It's just right over the hill here.
Yep.
Now this is some weird stuff, and you never hear anybody talk about this area, and I don't understand why. Let me say something real quick while we're heading here. The reason that we're looking at the Mount Gordo ghost is because about a year ago there was a developer who made some posts on Reddit. I believe that Fearless Fox, a member of the Mount Chiliad mystery team, he posted a video showcasing this, and someone was asking him questions about the Mount Chiliad mystery. And they asked him, they said, is there a jetpack in the game? Well, the guy flat up said, no, there's no jetpack in the game, but there is an alternative that we think that fans will like. So he said there's no jetpack. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or break anybody's bubbles, but if that guy is legit, he said there's no jetpack in the game. They may have added one. They may add one because everybody's clamoring for it. But as of now, he said there's no jetpack in the game. But what he did say was there's more to the ghost story. Now, real quick, Johnny, you'll have to do it. But float up and use the down, float up right over above the... Let me get out first. When you call Ursula for a booty call, she actually will spawn right here in this exact location by this pole.
Yep.
If you guys can see me.
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
I can just see your name, so I can just come down a bit for you. Yeah, there you go. I can see you.
Now, if you can do a bird's eye view, because nobody ever talks about this. And I have something interesting to say about this, thanks to Dibs Gaming.
Yeah.
Dibs Gaming says, he says, that the ghost says some things. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that there's a camp down the hill from where the ghost spawns.
Yeah.
And if you go down there at the same time that she spawns at nighttime, you can hear screams. There's 2 different screams, if I'm not badly mistaken, and she whispers things. She says certain things. One of the things she says is, I see you. And another thing, and we'll come back to that in a minute, but another thing she says is, the sea shall guide you. Well, look at what Johnny's showing you right now. You have a finger. There's no doubt in my mind that that's a finger. And it's pointing towards the top of what might be a mountain or something, but it's a finger pointing towards. And if you pull the map out and you look, it's pointing right towards Mount Gordo. Now, I don't know, but that's just, the sea shall be your guide, or the sea shall guide you, and that thing's pointing right towards Mount Gordo. Now, there's some other crazy stuff out there. There's like this ring of rocks, and then there's this other thing that comes up. I'm not sure I know what that is. I don't know. But I think it's pointing us to something. I really believe it's pointing us to something. And Ursula seems to spawn right here in the very middle of that. If you can look at this on the map, if you can go here and pull this up on the map and then get a bird's overview of it, stand right where she stands and look at this, you're right in the very center of the finger and that arch thing with the circle on it. You're right in the very center of it. This is where she spawns. The ghost says, the sea shall guide you. Well, here's the Alamo Sea, and there's a point. There's a finger pointing, guiding you somewhere. So I don't know. Now, there's something else about Mirror Park. Mirror Park is the radio station. Well, there's 2 places. There's an actual physical place named Mirror Park in the game, and if you go there, there's an interesting thing. There's a little lake thing there too, with an interesting hand. It looks like a hand to me, and we were looking at that last night.
Yes, we do, yeah.
But there's also a lighthouse there too. It's a small lighthouse. Now, it's funny how Ursula spawns here at this sea, and she lives out next to the lighthouse. But when you talk about GTA, and you hear things about duality and about mirror images of things, about all these layers mirroring one another. You've heard Danny, Coldblood music video talking about these layered images and the mirrors. There's a lot of different mirrors that I've found that nobody ever talks about, and there's some stuff we want to get into. The new thing with the finding the word help written on the building that shines in, or you can only see it with the sun. I want to show you something else that people haven't seen either here in a little while, but we haven't even got to the main parts. This is all still set up, guys. We've still got some knock your socks off stuff, but I have to set this up. Ursula here lives at the lighthouse. She says crazy stuff. We think she might be a serial killer. She's probably Jolene Cranley and Jock Cranley's daughter. Now, remember, the Eclipse. The ghost is at the Eclipse. Now, here's the funny thing. In this game, everybody is trying to find Omega, right? Everybody's looking around, trying to find Omega. Omega, where's Omega at? We try to find Omega. He comes in, he tells us the spaceship parks, and he splits, and nobody can find him. Well, let's go visit where Omega lives. And trust me, I'm going to try to tie this back around, and then show you some crazy stuff. So let's go over here. Now, we're not going where you meet Omega. We're going where you actually find the space docker.
Right, so let's go.
And it's right over here. All of this stuff is in a pretty close proximity to one another with a chopper. This is a weird finding, and I gotta say, Robin Rims actually showed this to me and probably doesn't even know it. Robin, if you watched this, you were doing the mystery show one night, and you walked by this. I was watching your live stream, and you walked by this, and you bumped into it and kept walking. I don't know if you took a picture of it or what, but you took a picture of this, and it kind of we got a gang attack down here, so we have to wait a minute.
Yeah.
Always got to be something around here.
Yeah.
I could trigger it and then
Take them all out.
leave it.
All
Trigger
that
it. I don't want to mess everything up, but trigger it and then fly away from it. Okay, back up. Fly away from it and it'll shut down, I think. Normally it will. Yeah, if you're going too far away, so yeah. I'm gonna turn because I'm locking on. Usually that'll get rid of them. Let's see if it did.
Let's see.
But again, like I was saying, I was watching the mystery show one night. It's still here, crap. And Robin Rams walked up to this thing, and when he bumped into it, and I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's the missing piece to the puzzle I've been trying to find. That just, I don't know, it was just like that piece that kind of snapped in. And you know, it's like if you've ever put one of those huge puzzles together, how it feels when you finally snap in a vital piece that's lost.
That's
Dude, knock it off. Enough already. Jeez. He was that one holdout man from the war that just did not want to go down quietly. And he went down loud. He was a jerk. You treated like a jerk.
That's the one. That's the one. Right. What have you got now?
Okay, folks. Now this is part of the hairy, brain-scratching thing that I want to show you. We had to go through all that backstory to get to here. Now this is Omega's trailer. This is where you get the space docker, right there. You can't get in here now, but this is where you get the space docker. This is Omega's trailer. Okay? So, what I want to show you here at Omega, check this out. This is a game that has a lot of religious references. There is a scripture in the Bible where God says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Omega kind of means the end. And Alpha means the beginning. Okay? So here we are at Omega's trailer, where you get the space docker. It could be a time travel device. We don't know. We want to do a live stream on the space docker, but we're trying to figure out how to do that together, because you can't get the space docker in online.
Yeah.
But now, here's where Robin Rams is right over here. This is a very interesting place. You got Omega's trailer right there, and you turn it around, and right over here is a picture of an alien with Los Santos 2020 on it. It looks like, at the bottom of the picture, it looks like Los Santos is underwater. And we saw Trippy commentaries, we saw Robin Rams, Dibs, I don't know if Dibs is with that one, but Danny Coldblood, Fearless Fox, and if I missed, and Robin Rams, they were all, here's Fatal Incursion. The word incursion means like an attack, you know, like a home invasion or some kind of invasion, it's an attack. And so we got Fatal Incursions, you got the aliens here, so it's a weird spot.
Yeah, one second, mate. Just had a message on the chat from Dalton. Shout out to him. He's just asking if it's PS4. Yeah, it is, mate. We're on PS4. Sorry, mate. Just answering his question.
Okay, so one of the craziest things that I've been up here, you know, plenty of times, and I've never noticed it. But Robin Rams was right over here, and he bumped into this table. You see, it looks just like a regular table with a newspaper laying on it. No
Yeah.
big deal, right? Okay. Now, I could sticky bomb this, but if I do, the cops are going to come. So, you see this? Zoom in on that paper. Just not completely in yet, because we don't want to reveal what it says yet. I just want to show them what it does. I'm going to grab this little car, and hopefully I don't get a wanted level.
I'll stand back.
Knowing my luck, I'll get one whenever I don't want one. Alright, so, alright, don't let me hit you. Now you see, there's a table with a newspaper laying on top of it. I'm going to take this car and start bumping the table. Now man, trust me, you've got to knock the hell out of this table. And you'll think it won't move, but you just got to keep hitting it. And eventually, it will. You'll knock it completely out of there. Oops, I missed. Cracker Jack should not have given me a license, man. So, hold on. There's a box down here. It's making the car slide. Okay, you see? Now the table's moving. The table is getting completely out of the way.
Yeah.
But show them, if you will, the newspaper. The newspaper is still floating there, folks. And not only is it floating there, you can't knock it down. Oh, look out.
Yes, mate. Sorry. Yes, mate. We are on PS4. Yeah, it's PS4 we're playing on. Tragedy at Cliffs.
Alright, watch this. Watch this. Let me show them what this does. You cannot dislodge this thing. You cannot. You can actually drive this thing into the hood of the car, but you can't move it. And I'm not hitting the tongue of the trailer. If you'll notice here, Johnny, you can show them. I'm not hitting the tongue of the trailer. I'm running into that newspaper. That's how crazy it is, guys. I mean, this thing is not moving. It's not moving at all, no matter how hard you hit it. And I've hit this, believe it or not, I've hit it with sticky bombs. As a matter of fact, you can lay a sticky bomb right on top of it. And if you want to see this, check this out. So you know that I'm not full of crap. You see how far we are away from this thing?
Yeah.
Let me get a sticky bomb. See if I can get it right on top of it. Alright, see that?
Right.
Back up. Now watch this. And of course the cops are coming. This frickin' thing is not damaged at all. It's still floating in mid-air. Now, if you can get up here with your phone and dial in on that thing, and if the cops come, I'm just going to let them shoot me and get it over with.
Yeah, no worries.
This is one of the few newspaper articles in the game that you can actually read every word of. I have not seen another one like it. And it tells the complete story of Jock Cranley and the ghost and the incident, and actually mentions Jeb Evans, which is Jolene Cranley Evans' father. And guys, it's right here at Omega's trailer. Now you might say, well, why Alpha and Omega? Why Alpha and Omega? I don't get the correlation. Well, I'm going to show you here in a minute. I'm just going to let him. I got to shoot him, man. I got to.
I say, go and take a few out.
You know
I'm just going through filters.
You know that's how I roll, man.
That's how we do it.
I'll just let them do it. Go ahead. Shoot me, you bastards. Shoot me. You can't kill me yet. Shoot me. Get it over with. Wow. Taking them long enough. You know what? I'll just do it myself since they can't get the job done.
That's it. Commit suicide. Sometimes it's the only answer.
Yeah. Suicide solution, man. Obviously.
That's the one.
If I can get back over there. Okay, so check this out. What we've learned is Omega at his trailer, this really weird stuff happening, and it's really now, like I said, Robin Rams bumped into this thing, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that says tragedy at the Eclipse, and you can read every word of that. I'd advise you to, if you strong mystery hunters, come up here, look this up, and you're going to see something pretty weird. Now, I still have another big reveal to show you. This could possibly be the biggest one. And if you're ready, Mr. Johnny, we shall proceed.
Yeah, let's go.
I got a couple things that's pretty amazing. And when I saw these, which one's mine? I think this one over here is mine. Yeah. Now we're heading down to the airport in Los Santos. And once we see this, we can start tying all their stuff together. You have to find all the parts in order to put it together. And these, this is pretty phenomenal. I just happened to bump into this about, maybe less than a month ago. And it got me to thinking, this has got to be something. Once I get here, I'll start talking to you. Well, I guess I could tell you on the way. If you're an avid mystery hunter, then you know that in GTA there are at least 2 murder mysteries. One Michael solves, and the other one is with Franklin.
Yeah.
With Franklin, you collect the letter scraps. You can collect them with any character, but with Franklin, it's ultimately the one that resolves that issue.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that woman's name is Leonora Johnson.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how Jolene and Leonora Johnson, you got Jole at the start of each one of their names. I don't know. I just found that kind of crazy. Jo and Le. I just kind of thought that was weird. But so Franklin is the one that solves that. Now you wouldn't even know that murder mystery existed if you didn't happen to trip across, a letter scrap, and now you know you've got to hunt down the other letter scrap. You never even knew that was in the game until you find the first letter scrap, and it tells you to collect it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like the first time you fly under a bridge, and you're like, whoa, it tells me that I can fly under more bridges. Cool.
That's it, yeah.
Then there was the thing with Michael. Rockstar released a picture of Michael walking through the Gentry Manor Hotel.
Yeah.
And in that, there was writing on the wall, and once you go up and you collect the different writings on the wall, you eventually wind up solving another murder mystery. And I don't want to give spoilers. I mean, most people know this, but if you're new to the game, look into this. Figure it out. It's a fun process. I don't want to spoil it for you. You long-term, heavy mystery hunters, you should know exactly you should know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to both tell you and leave it open for those guys. So for the new ones, let them experience it for themselves the first time, and maybe they even see something that we missed. Okay, so my theory is Trevor doesn't have a murder mystery. But there's some weird things with Trevor that need to be pointed out. And I found something right over here and another place. They correlate. And these things really blew my mind. Now, you see what's in front of me? Well, actually, we've got to wait for Johnny to get down here.
I'm trying to add a bit of drama to it. I'm just by coming down facing the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Now, where were we just at? We were at Omega's trailer, talking about the ghost. Omega, the end. Look right in front of us, guys. Alpha male. Now, I know male is not spelled the same way, but before I tell you my final think on it, check this out. You see the way that the silhouette of the man kind of looks like a Neanderthal?
Yeah.
He has a box on his back. Usually, when you see lines on a box, which way does it point? Up or down? I mean arrows. When you see arrows on a box, when it says this end, what?
Yeah, this normally ends upwards. Yeah, this one's pointing down the opposite way.
Yep. This one's pointing down. And not only that, but do you see this? You have to get up really close, this silhouette here, under the bottom. If you look at this silhouette, and if you hear my baby in the background, he's crying. He's hungry. But if you look at this silhouette right here, the silhouette is elongated under the neck. It almost looks like a reptile.
Yeah, I see that definitely.
And notice the way that it's shaped.
Yeah.
This one is going to the right. He's facing the right. He's got the box on his back facing down. He has a silhouette that looks like a reptile. And we see all kinds of stuff in this game talking about reptilians and things of that nature. And this is just a silhouette. Alpha male. Maybe, well, I'm going to say that for the last reveal, because there's yet one more having to do with this. Look at this sign. Look at this picture. Look at that silhouette. Oh, and by the way, Johnny, you want to tell them what happens to this silhouette when it's in bright sunlight?
Yeah, it completely disappears.
Yep.
You cannot see it whatsoever.
Yeah, you cannot see it. If you come here in the bright sunlight, this silhouette completely disappears, and you cannot see it unless you get right up on it. And I don't know how many times I've driven past this thing, and I've seen it a million times, but I've never seen that silhouette. And you may be thinking, what does this have to do with it, Wild? Okay, well, I'm going to show you, but we got one more thing to look at. And I encourage you guys to come and look at this stuff on your own so you can see this and you can do your own experiments with it. Now, I'm going to take you to the cornerstone of the game. The cornerstone. It's what everything hinges off of. It's the very first thing. We're going to go right over here to the corner of the map. And I want to show you one last thing, and then we're going to tie this together. And it'll all start making sense. And then you guys can help me try to see if my theory holds water or if I'm full of crap. Because if I'm full of crap, then fine, I'm full of crap. But with Rockstar and with GTA 5, there's so many different things that make sense, don't make sense. We've got to start looking at this stuff in the right context. We've got to start looking at this stuff in the proper order. Subtle hints and looking at it the right way, because if we don't, we're never going to find what we're looking for. If the developer that was on Reddit told the truth, and there is no jetpack in the game, we got 80,000 people running around looking for they call it the jetpack mystery. For the mystery with the jetpack may be that there's no such jetpack in the game. And I have another theory on that too that I'll talk about in the final expose right here. Johnny gets down so we don't chop each other up. Because with our luck today, it could happen.
Yeah. It's definitely not started off well, did it, at the beginning?
No, it didn't. But we're doing it, man.
No, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Now, I want you to see this, guys. Here we go again. Alpha male. Now, the funny thing is, this one, you can't see the shadow unless you zoom in on it. See, the other one, when it's bright sunshine, you can't see the shadow. In the daytime, you can't see it. Now, we didn't get to show you that because the time wasn't right. You can come up here on your own and look at that shadow over there And it's if you forgot where the location was, it's right in front of that huge metal statue of the airplanes over at LSIA, or that's where it's at. Now here, at nighttime, now see, that picture is black, and the box on it is brown. Why wouldn't they just do a simple copy and paste?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't they just, you know, if this wasn't significant, why wouldn't they just throw this picture on that sign over there? Now here's my thought. Now this is where it gets crazy. Johnny, if you would be so kind as to zoom in on that shadow, if you're not already doing it.
Yeah, I'm on it.
That shadow underneath this alpha male is completely different. And
Definitely.
you cannot tell me that that's not there for a reason. Now, as I said before, which terminal is this? Number 8.
8, yeah.
There's an 8 right there. 8 is big. Infinity. See?
True.
Now, here we go, guys. Now I'm going to
see.
start getting into some stuff that's going to warp your brain. Okay. The ghost is sitting up there on Mount Chili, or not Mount Chiliad, but she's up there on Mount Gordo.
Yeah.
She has the name Jock Cranley written underneath her in blood. I think that Jolene Cranley was murdered by her husband, and now she's trying to tell the world who it is that killed her. And she wants you to deliver the alpha male to her and throw him down that cliff, because you see that box, the package, has a downward arrow. And you think about it. The downward, see, the alpha male. This thing is talking about karma. See, the whole game is talking about karma. What if, perhaps, Jock Cranley happens to be the killer? What if Ursula helped him? As crazy as this sounds, what if?
It's a very valid point, that.
Well, you think, how the hell do you get that? Well, look, at Omega's trailer, Omega, the end, we see the beginning. If this whole thing started at the cliffs where the ghost is, at you know, the alpha male through, the alpha male wants dominance. And we were talking last night, Johnny, about even that sign over at McKenzie Airfield, you know, the one with the jetpack, or where everybody says it's the jetpack, the Rocketeer, the 108, and all that stuff. It's the Jack Sheep logo. Yeah. Well, think about the sheep. That's definitely a ram. And there's a ram skull in that cave up there at the Altar's camp.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Well, how many times, and we were talking, and again, we were talking about this last night, how many times have you heard when two people are having an argument, you say that they're butting heads?
Very true, that's true. That it's said quite a lot of times between them, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe, as crazy as it might sound, maybe we have to deliver the alpha male to the Infinity 8 killer, I mean, to the thing. Okay, now here's something else. Dealing with Jock Cranley. One of the craziest things you hear in the game about Jock Cranley is when Trevor meets these two old people, Nigel and Mrs. Thornhill, and they begin to call him Jock Cranley. They think he is Jock Cranley for some reason. Trevor is the one who is the cannibal. He's the one who makes soup out of humans. Remember, Ursula said soup made out of old soup. Remember?
Yeah, sorry.
Could it possibly be that there's a resemblance from Trevor, because maybe he's Jock Cranley's son, or maybe he's Jock Cranley's brother? We know that Trevor has a brother, because when we see him talking to the zombie in Vinewood, and a lot of people probably haven't done this either, but you pull Trevor up to the zombie in the Vinewood zombie. He's down there on the strip, and you find him. Trevor looks at the zombie and he says, "You look like my brother," and it kind of hints to the fact that he killed his brother.
Yes, true. Yeah.
And we know that Trevor has a really wild, crazy thing because his mom. We meet her at the end of the game. Now here's where it gets crazy. Here's where it ties together. The little clues. The devil is in the details. Dib said that one of the things that the ghost says is, "I see you." And you all just think that when you get close to the ghost, she disappears. She's like, "I see you," and she disappears. What if the ghost is not talking about, "I see you," like I'm looking at you, but the "I see you" like the intensive care unit at that hospital that Trevor runs through when he's with Mrs. Thornhill and Nigel? What if we have to go back and replay that mission and we find Jock Cranley in that hospital or around it? I know that's a far-fetched idea, or maybe there's some kind of clue in there that triggers this whole investigation, like the letter scraps. Here's my point. I think that we're missing something. I think, remember, the developer said there's more to the ghost story. Let me say that one more time to drive this home. There's more to the ghost story. People are missing it. And he just flat out told us, stop looking at the jetpack. Stop looking at the UFOs. Some look right.
The red herrings.
But the answer is right in front of you. Maybe we're too preoccupied with the jetpack that he said doesn't exist. And maybe we're looking at those UFOs. I'm going to tell you something. Except
Your mic's just gone, mate. It's just cracking again.
Is it better now?
No, it's still doing it.
How about now?
That's it, perfect.
What about now?
Perfect. Perfect now.
Am I good now?
Yeah, it's good, it's good.
Okay. So, the UFOs, except for the one that's crashed in the north, there's not one single UFO in this game so far that's actually alien UFOs. And I'm not even talking about the new one that I'm talking about the ones that we can go physically look at right now.
Yeah.
I believe that the one in the water is either the real deal, or it's one that the government made and crashed as a prototype.
Yep.
But guys, come on. Why is it not obvious to most people that those UFOs say FIB on them? And that word says fib. Fib means lie.
Yep.
It's a lie. They're trying to tell you in a subtle, not so subtle way that those UFOs aren't alien UFOs. And the one over Fort Zancudo, that's clearly like a stealth aircraft. That's a military aircraft. That is not. That's got nothing to do with aliens. Maybe that's there to fight the aliens. Maybe that's what we're going to get on the DLC if it comes out. But I'm telling you, I think some look left, some look right. I believe what they're trying to tell you is to solve the ghost story, to solve the Mount Chiliad or the Mount Gordo. I'm beginning to believe it's more of a Mount Gordo mystery than a Mount Chiliad, because there's so many things on Mount Gordo, and there's several other things up there that we could spend a whole other live stream talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I mean, there's huge things up there. But I'm still trying to get back to what the developer said. There's more to the ghost story. And I've been investigating this for several months now. And then the more I dig, the more crap I'm finding, and the more it points to, I think, with Trevor, somehow we have to trigger or start this investigation, find something, maybe even find Jock Cranley, take him up to the ghost, and he throws, and you have to throw him off there, and maybe then the ghost, I don't know, maybe she gives you a cookie, maybe she pats you on the head and says thank you, or she turns into Slimer and slimes you. Hell, I don't know, maybe she turns into the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man like on, Ghostbusters. I don't know what it's supposed to do. But the developer also said that there's several small things that have to be done, and as far as he knows, no one's done them yet. And there's something about the maze, about one of the banks holds a secret. You have to take these smaller things and put them all together into the bigger things, and that's where you find the ultimate Easter egg, key, whatever you want to call it, gift, find the answer to the mystery. Unfortunately, I don't think that driving the space dock around, blowing the horn and everything, and sitting it on top of every building and things is going to do it. I believe that the space docker has a purpose. I actually believe it does. and I wish we could get the space doctor here and actually point some things out. But I think the thing that we need to figure out, those of you who have the PC version of the game, if you could please look into the dialogue files, look into the character files, see if you can find a real picture of, or see if you can find a character of Jock Cranley. We see pictures of him on billboards, we hear his voice in Blaine County radio about him having, that he's had 3 families, and he's made a lot of mistakes, and now he's ready to govern. You know, he's definitely the alpha male type. He's definitely the kind of guy that you really don't want in politics, but you unfortunately have him in there all the time. He's definitely the alpha male. He's definitely Jolene Cranley's killer. And he definitely, I believe, this is my personal bet, or my personal belief, that he abandoned his baby girl, Ursula, that he, at least I think so. I could be completely wrong on Ursula, but why would she call him Daddy? Lick my scars? Or could that possibly be another ghost? Could, you know, Ursula possibly be some kind of ghost of, you know, Jolene? I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff down there that begs investigation, and I think most people, when they talk about the ghost, they just say, oh yeah, there's a ghost on Mount Chiliad. If you get too close to it, you know, she disappears. And she screams. And she whispers things. Okay, well, she says, I see you. And she says, the sea shall guide you. I think we need to pay more attention to that. See if we can find an actual character. Oh God, I wish I could remember the guy's name. But if you've played through the game several times, then you know that when Franklin finally collects all the letter scraps, you get to put them together, and you have it's kind of a confession letter of who actually killed Leonora Johnson.
Yeah.
Then you get to go to that house and give that guy some reckoning, you know. But that guy's character does not spawn in until you finish that series of events. And just like with Michael, those avid mystery hunters, you know what you get at the end of Michael's mysteries with the cave and all that kind of stuff. You know what you get there. But you don't get that until after you finish those events that leads up to that. Now you got Michael, you got Trevor, or excuse me, you got Michael and you got Franklin. Trevor doesn't have one. But you've got the Infinity 8 symbol all over where Trevor lives, and somebody burned his house down. And we know Trevor loves fire. Trippy commentaries right now, he's doing a playthrough of Trevor, of GTA 5, and he intends to kill him out Trevor at the end. And those of you who know, when Trevor dies, he dies by fire. And Michael yells at him and says, "You always did love fire, Trevor." Hey, should we show him the sign, the dragon sign?
Yeah, let's go to that.
Yeah, let's do that, because that just goes to prove our point.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know we're throwing a lot of information at you, but all this stuff, it clicks together. And if you go back and you watch this again, and I'm sorry for the length, we're trying to keep it short because there's so much stuff that correlates. Again, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. You have right here, folks. Turn around, Johnny, and show them. You're at the cornerstone of the game, Alpha. The beginning, Alpha and Omega. Alpha meaning beginning. You're right here. This is the first thing on the map. You're at the docks. This is the first thing. And even if it weren't, the actual physical map of Ludendorff or North Yankton is out in that direction, towards the corner here. So this is still the cornerstone of the game, the beginning, the Alpha, the original. And then you go to Omega's trailer, and it points you right back to the cliffs where the ghost is. That's the key. That's the circle that I'm talking about. The loop. It's like the beginning leads you to the end, and the end leads you back to the beginning. It's like a perpetual circle, if you look at it the right way. And I think that's pretty much what we've been doing with this Mount Chiliad mystery is we've been going around in circles. We've just been chasing our tail. We see new things all the time, and we run even the new thing with the help that wall.
Yeah.
I forget who it was that found that. I think it was Kairos maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was something very similar to that.
Yeah, I think it was him, and that was a wonderful find. Well, even that points to the Mount Chiliad thing, and it's right next to where Michael's kickoff of his mystery happens.
Yes, very true.
I mean, come on, guys. There's just too much pointing to the same things. It's just all pointing to the same thing, and there's a lot of other stuff I could get into, but I just want to stay focused on these few things. Trippy also said something the other day. RJ said something the other day about maybe Trevor can come back. If you kill him, he might can. You know, he may be onto something there. And what I'm about to show you here is, I don't know if many people have really paid attention to this, if they've, I mean, I don't know. Gotta find exactly where it's at. I believe in the right spot. I don't believe it's over there more, isn't it?
Yeah, so left
yeah,
a bit
it's over
more,
here. Let me get over here first, and I'll show you this, and I'll show you something else real quick, and then we can cap this off if you want to.
Yeah.
Right here, it's right over here. It's at this corner. Yeah. Okay, to find this, you've got to come right here to this location on the map. You've got the Dieter Sachs building right here. And I guess we've got to find a place to set the choppers down. I guess we'll set them down right over here.
Yeah, let's pull across to the side.
Because if not, we'll have all these idiots yelling and screaming and starting a fight, and we'll have to kill some fools. I'm all for killing fools, man.
Oh, yes.
I like killing the fools. Oh, look, check this out. Eclipse Lodge. Now, there's so much talking in the game about solar eclipse, and matter of fact, you know, Eclipse Boulevard up there is a direct representation of the Sunset Strip of Sunset Boulevard in California, in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So Eclipse Lodge, and if you go up here and you look at this crazy door, this place is a lodge. It kind of looks like a Freemason temple. It's definitely a mysterious looking building. If you get up there close and you look at how ornate it is, you know, this isn't just a standard building. This is, you know, with all these vines and things growing up here, you know, it's definitely been here for a while. Now, I don't know if this building ever opens. I don't know, but this is at the Eclipse Lodge. This is the location we're talking about. Now, let me show you what I want you to see. Johnny, you'll have to zoom in here.
Let me come over here.
I've seen this sign about 1 billion times, but I never really paid much attention to it.
Let's get away from the sun. So.
You want to get on before you get shot in the head? There you go. When you zoom in on that sign, read the top line. If I just walked in the field of view, I'm sorry, I can't see where you're.
That's right. In a land before life, one man will rise up again.
Yep.
Dragon
One
6.
man will. And if you look at the O in that is a representation of the sun. In some of the hieroglyphs, that is a representation of the sun. And you got the 6. I'm still not sure what 6 means, what all it means. But now, zoom in and look, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mystery hunters of all ages, look at the fire.
The fire.
And tell me what you see.
As I can see, maple leaves.
Maple leaves. What connection does any character in this mystery have with maple leaves?
I'm literally coming up with one thing and one thing only, and that is Trevor being Canadian.
Exactly. And Trevor loves fire. And the fire connected to this is maple leaves. from a distance, it just looks like fire, but when you zoom in on it, it looks like maple leaves. And not only that, but if you go up to the Mount Chiliad ghost, if you get close enough to her where she disappears, pull out your sniper rifle or your phone and zoom back in on her, and she'll literally pop back up right in front of your face. Take a screenshot or 2 or 3 of those swirling things around her. They look like maple leaves. To me, anyway. That's what they look like. I can't... They look like maple leaves.
They do look very similar. Something very similar to that.
Yeah. And what we noticed when we were up there the other day, there's little insects flying around, and it kind of looks like dragonflies or fireflies.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, there's some new things in this video. Now, again, the blue alpha male sign over at the airport. If you're there during bright sunlight, the shadow completely disappears. Any other time it's pretty visible, but it disappears. Just like the help sign over at the Gentry Manor Hotel, that thing disappears. Now here's something else that I want to say. This game is so full of timing, location, and weather patterns that it's ridiculous. How many times have you went to end a mission and there's like a yellow dot on the ground, you've got to pull up on it or land a helicopter on it.
Yep.
But you land the helicopter on it and you get out, but it tells you didn't complete the mission, and you've actually got to get back in the chopper and fly 6 inches over to complete the mission.
Yeah, yeah.
Pinpoint accuracy on some of this stuff. If you look at the clocks, some of the stuff spawns in exactly at a certain time and leaves exactly at a certain time. There's no late, no early. It always happens at the exact same intervals. And so...
Your mic's going again, mate.
Your mic's going again, mate. Oh, sorry. So is that better?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yep, good.
So, some of these things, they happen at the exact same intervals. So, I don't know, guys. What we thought we would do is give this is stuff that I think is pretty interesting, and I showed it to Johnny a few weeks ago, and he was like, you know what, that's a head scratcher. And I'm thinking, I don't hear anybody talking about this. I hear people talk about the ghost from time to time. I hear people talk about Ursula from time to time, but I've never really heard anybody talk about this in the way I'm saying it. Now, one other thing. Trevor's mom. We know that Trevor, now getting back to the whole Jock Cranley being could possibly be Trevor's father or his brother. I'm leaning more towards father. I don't know how old Jock is. He was already married in 1978, according to that newspaper article that we found over by Mega's trailer.
Yeah.
I believe that happened in 78, so that would make him, what, 78, 88, 98, 108, 18, coming up. That would make him, if he was around 20 there, that would make him about 60 now.
Yeah.
And I think Trevor's character's supposed to be around 40.
I would say he's in his 40s, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that would definitely put him in the right time bracket where, I don't know, maybe he's closer to Michael's age. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows that. Maybe they can post it in the comments. I don't know. I haven't investigated that. But Trevor's mom, she goes on this big tangent about how he's a sorry lowlife. He doesn't love her. He doesn't care about her. And we don't even really know if she's really there. But she tells him, now check this out, Johnny. This is the part that makes me believe that there could be something to do with the hospital. She tells Trevor, she says, now remember, now hold on a second. Remember that Mrs. Thornhill and Nigel is a Strangers and Freaks mission that you don't have to do at all. And you could save that until Trevor's mom. Or to the end of the game. You could possibly save that. So here's the thing. She tells him that she needs some pills. And the pills that she needs is called Delutamol. Delude them all. To delude, a delusion is to, somebody's deluded in their mind. They're They're seeing
Their
stuff, or they're
imagination, isn't it?
confused,
Yeah.
or they've been, yeah, delude them all, to trick them all, maybe. And then where do you go? Where do you go to get the pills? You either go to a drugstore or you go to a hotel. I mean, not a hotel, but a hospital.
Hospital, yeah.
ICU. I'm
Intensive
telling
care
you,
unit,
there's some solid connections here, but I never hear anybody talking about this. Maybe I'm out of my mind. Maybe I'm losing my brains. And if I am, fine. I would love to put it to rest if there's nothing to it, because this stuff just, keeps gnawing at me. It's like I keep hearing this little voice going, "It's right here, man."
Yeah.
I feel like there's this little troll jumping up and down, jumping, with bright Christmas lights on him or something, jumping up and down, going, "I'm right here, man. I'm right here. You just don't see me. I'm right here." And so I don't know.
Just one quick thing while we're here. There's Sebastian Dick sign across the road with these
Yes.
crazy glasses that I don't even know what they're about, with the mad lenses.
If you've ever seen the movie They Live, in that movie, it's truly, for those of you who haven't seen it, I suggest finding it on the internet and watching it. There's a lot of things in this game that point back to They Live. I don't know if this is just an Easter egg, or if this really matters, but the way this actually connects is pretty out there too. Okay, the name. Okay, in the movie They Live, the main character finds the world they live in is crazy. There's all kinds of crazy things going on. I haven't seen it in a long time. I can't remember what the actual problem is, but he either finds or he's given a pair of special sunglasses, and when he puts these glasses on, it reveals the true identity of a lot of the people that he looks at, and they're aliens. They're reptilian alien creatures. And he also looks at certain billboards, and these billboards have like subliminal messages put in them, like obey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely see the word obey written on a lot of these signs around here without glasses, because of the car that obeys. There's actually one down towards it's down towards the southern part of town that I found the other day, that's actually got a gangster hanging out the window doing a drive-by in one of the cars.
Wow.
I've never seen that one before, but it's down there. I could find it and show it to you, but it's just down there. But now here's the kicker. Here is the kicker. Sebastian Dix, that name. If you look on the Epsilon website and you scroll down to the Epsilon robes, the one that costs like $1 million to buy, how much are they? 250,000?
Some silly like that, ain't it?
25,000, 50,000, I don't know, but whatever they are, they're extremely expensive. It says out beside them, created by the designer Sebastian Dix. This guy, Sebastian Dix. Sebastian Dix, and if you look at the picture, yes, that is a female with a dick aiming towards her. That's what it is, because rock stars are perverts. God bless them. But they are. But anyway, that is a sign for Sebastian Dix eyewear. Now, I've done some research, and unless I'm wrong, Benco is the store that sells these sunglasses. As a matter of fact, I'd like to, let me see. We don't have a car here handy, do we?
No, just the cactus.
Let me call the mechanic real quick, and we can show you this, and then maybe we'll end this thing. Unless there's something else that we get into. I don't want to make it too long.
Yeah.
I don't even know how long we've gone so far.
At the moment, we're on 1 hour 16 minutes.
Okay. Well, maybe we can end it before an hour and a half. That's okay. Because people who really like the mystery, they'll hang in here, and they'll be with you, man. If you got good content, that's the thing. Gotta have good content. I think this content's pretty good. I mean, it's all new stuff, and you don't really hear people talking about it. Let me get that car. I'll probably get killed going across the road. Actually, no.
I think everyone's been on a I think everyone's been on a free-for-all, wiping out my cars, because I'm trying to get me APV back, and I've gone on to Moore's Mutual, and every garage has got cars in it. They're destroyed. Must have been a bad week.
New DLC, it's insane, man. On the price, you know, it's crazy. Again, what I want to touch on is that we're looking for the Sebastian. Oh! By the way, since we're right here, guys, we were talking about Ursula. Ursula says another crazy thing. She talks about how she just wants to do her crafts, and she wants to do toe shoes.
Yeah.
Right in this picture, there is toe shoes. I forget which one it's on. I think it may be the first one. Yeah, right over the ear of that funny-looking head. There's a picture of toe shoes right there. At least that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
So again, that points right back to Ursula. And the crazy thing is, people kind of say that the ear in that might point to the Davis Quarry. Well, if it is, you put where the Davis Quarry is, and you put where the toe shoes are. If that signifies Ursula, that's I think that face, that head, may be a map.
It makes sense.
I've seen somebody one time overlay that, and it made sense. But it was one of those videos where everybody tops, and I have Roku then, and when I pause it, the actual pictures jump up over the words, and I can't see it, and they only leave it on there for like 10 seconds, or like 5 seconds. By the time you're trying to read it, it's gone. And
that's it,
with Roku, it's incredibly hard to rewind. Another thing while we're looking, if you've ever noticed, here's something I don't know. I think Trippy may be doing something wrong by killing off Trevor, because Michael's color is blue. Yep. Franklin's color is green. But if you've ever noticed, Trevor's color is represented most of the time as orange.
Yeah, like an orangey colour, yeah.
On the game, like when you look at the rampages, you see orange, but in other places it's represented as yellow, and some places it's represented as red. Because I believe, if you mix yellow and red together, you get orange. And I kind of think that's where Trevor lives most of the time, is in that if you've noticed how he acted around his mom, he's cowardly.
Yeah.
If you've ever played some of the missions where he's afraid, like especially the one after he steals the super weapon, and he's not able to keep the money, or he's not able to keep it. He butts his head. He's crying. And one of the heist missions, at the end, he throws a fit. He's sitting by a tree, and he's crying, and he holds onto that statue of impotent rage. He feels vulnerable. And then he goes into, the name impotent rage in itself is a kind of an oxymoron. It's got
you're going to be quite rageful, aren't you, if you're impotent? So.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
But I think sometimes he lives in the middle. He lives, when he's feeling cowardly, his color is yellow. When he's feeling rage, like in the center picture there, that almost looks like his head's exploded, and now it's red. He looks pissed. He looks like he's throwing a fit.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's fire. I don't know. Maybe Trippy does have it right. Maybe you do have to kill Trevor. I don't know. But yellow and orange. Hey, Trevor, on the map, he's represented as orange, but in a lot of different places in the game, he's represented as yellow, and some places he's represented as red. So I don't know. It's just food for thought. But there's toe shoes there, and so that was the kick in for Ursula. Now, the last thing I kind of want to point out here is we were talking about those sunglasses. You can buy those sunglasses at Benco. I think Trevor is the one that's able to buy them, if I'm not badly mistaken. It's a matter of fact. Here's the hospital that you run through with. Isn't it the same one?
Have a look. think it is,
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah, it
yeah.
is, yeah.
If you see this interior is completely stocked. I mean, it's completely full, and I've tried crashing through these doors. You can't get in there. I don't know. We might can try with maybe get a tank or something and see if we can bust through them with that, but I kind of doubt it. Or wall breach in there somehow.
Yeah,
Out of the
sorry,
way.
mate. Dalton, my gamer tag, mate, it's in the description and my name. Just seen your message then. That's what my gamer tag is. It's in the description, I think. It should be anyway.
So you go down here at this bin cove. Trying to remember where this is off the top of my head. It's usually I can do this. I don't come over here a lot, but here's, yeah, this one right here, guys. Now here's the funny thing. Right here, this is the store where you can go in. I believe it is with Trevor. Check this out, man. You can go into this store. Now remember, in the movie They Live, those special sunglasses help you to see things more clearly. They help you to see things that you can't see with your naked eye.
Yeah.
You can't buy them here in online, but you can buy them in single player. You go right over here to the sunglasses rack, and you'll find them. You'll find the Sebastian Dix. I think they just say Dix on the side. I think they just say DIX. But you want to see something that's really funny?
Cool.
Johnny, walk out those doors and look straight up and tell me what you see. When you leave this store, look straight ahead of you, brother. The other mural.
The mural.
Don't you think that's kind of weird? You buy
That is a
these
bit of a
sunglasses in here.
coincidence.
Yep.
That is a
With
big
Trevor.
coincidence. The
And
first
look,
thing you
look
see
right
when
over
you
here.
walk out.
This word right here, pharmakeia, that is a word that means it's like witchcraft. That's where we get pharmacy. And look right above it, there's an E. coli sign. Zoom in on that crap and tell me that doesn't look like a bunch of maybe virus amoebas and shit.
It actually does,
Yes,
doesn't
I
it?
know. Yeah.
It does. It looks like a
And
lot of
this is
bacteria.
And music video, Danny, he's talking about how this building right over here, in real life, is supposed to be like the entrance to a bunch of tunnels and stuff, man. And this is the 10-cent theater. This is the theater that Michael buys, and you got all these weird places. And see, what's funny is the game always takes you to very whacked out places. I believe your path being lit. I believe the game takes you to these places.
Yeah,
I believe that
one second,
it's
mate.
walked this right, huh?
Yeah, it's one second. I've just got another message through. It's my gun, your face. It should be on there, mate. So he's just like said that you can't see it. I've got all the chats coming through now.
What was it that we needed to show?
No, he was just asking about what my game tag was. I was just saying it is on there somewhere. It's my gun, your face, but it's on there somewhere. It's got some underscores and some dashes in there, but.
Yeah, man, this is all this crazy stuff right in this area, and I just kind of believe that they've walked us through this area time and time again. I believe we've literally walked by the clues a million times, and we just didn't realize that they were the clues.
Yeah, it is a bit of a coincidence that you can walk into there, you can walk straight out from the place that you can buy the sunglasses, and the first thing you see when you walk through the door is the mural.
Right. Now see, here's the deal. Now I haven't even read this stuff on the sign, but look, Johnny, see, here's the deal. A lot of these guys who have played GTA before have played it from the original GTA game. I didn't. I've only recently gotten back into gaming because I'm a dad and I got kids, and I've been raising my kids for several years, and I just recently, within the past year or so, got back into the game. And my wife told me, she said, there's a game that I think you'd really like. It's Grand Theft Auto. And I'm like, well, you know, I've heard all the stuff about that game, but I don't know. So we got a PlayStation, and we got the game, and I loved it, you know. And when I first started playing the game, to me, it was just a game. You know, it's just a game. You know, you play it, and there's missions, and you have characters, and it's just really cool. You get to shoot, fly planes and stuff, you know. I thought, hey, man, this is a great game. I love it. But then, like I said earlier, I wander across the spaceship part, or not the spaceship part, but I wander across a, you know, a letter scrap. And me, in my brain, I've got to collect them all, you know. And so I start searching these things down, and I'm thinking, well, you know, there's a few of them that I can't find. So I look for a tutorial video. Where are these things at? You know, trying to hunt them down. Because I'm curious as to what happens once you find them all. So, get the hell out of here. But anyway, I couldn't, when I started looking up videos to find these spaceship parts, I started seeing things about Mount Chiliad mysteries. Can you believe that at that particular time I had never been on top of Mount Chiliad? I had never even ridden the cable car. I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. And so I go up there, and I'm seeing this mural, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this? Then I start hearing everybody and their brother and their Uncle Lester talking about freaking jetpacks. And I didn't get the correlation between the jetpacks because I didn't play the other game.
Yep.
So I'm not jetpack crazy. I'm not looking for a jetpack. I'm looking for actually what they put inside the game. It's like I tell somebody, like, you know, if you come to my house and you say, wow, where are your red boots? And I say, Johnny, I don't own a pair of red boots. And you're like, but let me get away from these guys. They're running their mouth. if you say, but wow, you know, where are your red boots? And I'm like, Johnny, I don't own a pair of red boots. He said, yeah, man, but I really like red boots. And my last friend had some red boots, and I like those red boots. I'm like, Johnny, I don't have any red boots, man. I'm sorry. Everything in this house, I bought it, and I put it here. You can look for red boots until your head falls off, but you're not going to find it because I don't own them. And I kind of feel like that's what happens with some people in this game, is that they're looking for the jetpack. They want that jetpack so bad, but there may not be one in the game. Now, I hope for their sake that there is. I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's a jetpack. I hope they find it, and I hope they enjoy flying around on it until some asshole with a Hydra comes floating by 2 seconds later and blows the shit out of you. And I don't know what the point is. But, you know, I'm not jetpack crazy, so I'm not, I mean, if I find a jetpack, I find a jetpack. Great. But I'm looking to see what is actually the mystery. And looking at this stuff, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. The thing is, as you said, we've seen yesterday. Obviously, we'll have to save this obviously for our next stream, like. But we've seen obviously the red herring signs on the back of those containers, them tankers. Right. Sorry, the red herrings used to say that the jetpack's just not the red herrings, just to get everyone searching for something that's not actually there. It's taking us off the point of what we need to be looking for.
See, there's another thing that with that. That we might want to look at in the next live stream. I mean, I know you haven't had much sleep, but maybe we can do this tomorrow or something. There's a lot of stuff with the Epsilon program and Scientology. I wish we had the ability right now. See, Johnny and I really don't have the ability at the moment to make video. Like, I mean, I know how to do it, but I'm not set up. Like I said, I wasn't planning on getting back into, like, I'm a performer, and I've been a performer all my life with certain things that I got out of that for a long time, and I know how to do this. I'm not set up for it anymore. I wasn't planning on, you know, buying a video game and start making videos about the video game.
Exactly,
I never intended to do that. And this is nuts. It's crazy how this game just makes you think and drives you crazy trying to find certain things. It's just crazy how it happens.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
We don't have the resources yet to capture our video and cut it up and to put it into the editing process is very meticulous, and you've got to do the voiceovers and if you put music behind it and all that stuff, and to get it dialed in just right. We're not set up to do that yet. But we could.
Yeah. And so if things to work out alright with the channel, obviously, if people are liking what they see and they want to hear it and they want to subscribe, obviously, to us, and obviously if it seems that it's working, it's obviously something we can look into, obviously, in the future.
Yeah. If there's a market for the information, then we'll be more than happy to put it out there, because I love this stuff, man. I mean, this world is so big. I mean, it's just so big here in GTA. And there's so many tiny things, and the GTA developers actually said that there's so many Easter eggs in this game that you'll never find them all. I don't know. I think there may be enough people looking at it. We may get damn close.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's, and I may be skilled in something that you're not skilled in. You may be skilled in something that I'm not skilled in. And we put our heads together. Now we're skilled in both fields, and we can bounce information off of each other. And that's why it's not. That's like earlier. I don't know. There's a video by Music Vidiot, or not. Excuse me, not Music Vidiot, but by Trippy Dagger. He did a video up in Ursula's backyard, and I've seen him a time or two. Now he probably doesn't remember my name, because at the time I was in Trippy Commentary's live stream, I was under my wife's account. Because I wanted to go into the live stream and tell RJ about some information that I'd found. So I grabbed my wife's laptop and logged into her YouTube account, and it was Krista Mac 71. And I told everybody, and I became known as Krista's husband for a few live streams. I haven't been able to get in there a lot lately, but I was Krista's husband. And I made a big joke at it, because they kept calling me Krista, and I was like, I'm Krista's husband. And I was trying to be funny, but I've got my own. I didn't even have my own Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I have since set that up, and I'm since setting up a Facebook page where I can upload pictures from the game and upload pictures from the internet and put it on there, and try to show you the differences, the mirrors between real life and between this world. And so then I can describe things and show it to you until we get the ability to make the videos, if we get the ability to make the videos. So, with that being said, just to so compelled. See if we can find a player or dialogue from Jock Cranley that has not already been, used.
Yeah.
There is dialogue from Jock Cranley on the radio, but that's about as far as it goes. There's several articles, there's several posters, there's a website, Jock Cranley website. There's even a Leonore Johnson website, and down at the bottom it talks about, Tragedy at the Cliffs, I believe it is, or something like that. But it's pretty much the same story. But again, guys, Alpha and Omega. God said in the Bible, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And it's just funny how we have a character here named Omega, and Omega means end, and he's showing you these spaceship parts. And supposedly the space, we learned that there may have been DLC scheduled to come in the game, and Los Santos was going to have a fatal incursion. And again, that poster, we were going to have a fatal incursion, a deathly incursion, an invasion, if you will, of aliens coming down to try to destroy us. Don't you think it's funny that at Omega's trailer, dealing with spaceship parts, there's a picture of the fatal incursion poster, and the aliens with the 2020 on it, and with the tidal wave. If you go look at that poster, guys, there's a tidal wave that's hitting Los Santos down at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely.
It's right underneath the alien. It's in the same poster. And so, that's the end at Omega's house. But at Omega's house, we have a newspaper article that you cannot blow up if you drop a nuclear weapon on it.
Yep.
You can knock everything out. I believe you could probably flip that trailer over before you can actually move that thing. I've tried. I've hit it with everything that I ever hit it with. About the only thing I haven't done is to drive a military Rhino tank up there and shoot the damn thing, but it's not going to move.
Yeah, I believe so. But it's a non-movable piece, definitely. It's been put in there purposely, and for the fact of it's the only newspaper that I've actually seen that you can read the whole article on. All the other newspapers have just got pictures and then blurred writing. With that one, you can actually focus in and actually read the whole article about it. So that's a massive clue as far as I'm concerned.
And not only that, it has time, it has date, or I don't know about time. I meant to look and see if it showed what time she fell off that cliff. I meant to look at that, and I need to go back and do that. I forgot to do that.
Yeah, we can look back on the stream because I concentrated on the newspaper for a while, so everyone that was watching could obviously have enough time to read it themselves.
Well, notice up in the left-hand corner of that newspaper article, it actually has the weather.
Yes, it does.
And then
yes,
it has the date. And don't forget this: when you're taking it, there's some videos of Ursula on YouTube. You can see all of her interactions with characters. There's a couple of different people that's done these, and they're really good. Watch it. Watch it again. Watch it again, and watch it again. Listen to everything she says. Break it down, line by line, precept upon precept. The gardener used to come on Fridays. Maybe we've got to go up there on Friday. Maybe we've got to figure out what time. And until he got sick and fell off that cliff. She talks about soup. So mix. Maybe Ursula is maybe she's Jock Cranley's daughter. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's just some squatter there. But she talks about her mama is dead. And she says, Daddy. And that newspaper article says that Jock Cranley's first name is John. So, guys, I'm telling you, at Omega's trailer, it tells you about that. And you say, well, how do you get Omega tied into, that sign? Because Alpha and Omega. If you don't know that Alpha is the beginning and Omega is the end, if you didn't know about that scripture, you could never make the correlation between the two. Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And we're talking about at the very beginning of the game, at the cornerstone, the very first piece of land that you get to. If you start at the very, very bottom of the map and you're trying to step on the very piece of land that you go to, you're standing right there on that corner of the docks.
Very true.
That's the beginning. It's the beginning. And you look up and there's a sign telling you right from the beginning. You have to take the alpha male. I think that's such a wonderful play on words. The alpha male. But it's the alpha male. He has to be delivered to, take him up there. And it's even on his back. Where does Trevor like to put people? In the freaking trunk of his car, man.
Yeah, true.
On the back. He puts people in the truck. He took Wade. Wade's like, oh, Trevor, you need to get some seats back here. And he says, I only put things back there that I don't care to lose.
That's right.
Something like that. He didn't care if Wade fell out or not. He didn't give a shit. So, and he puts the guy, Mrs. Thornhill, the I can't remember that guy's name. Napoli or whatever his name, Al DiNapoli or something like that. I can't remember his name, but he puts him in the trunk. So, and then at the end he puts Devin Weston in the trunk of the car. So that's his thing. And Trevor will just be driving by somebody and he'll go, "You want to wind up in the trunk of this thing?" He's always talking about things in the trunk. I think Trevor has got to find Jock Cranley at some point in the game. Like maybe during a side mission, maybe during the main mission, maybe during the mission where you drive through the hospital.
Yeah.
Get out of here. That's what I thought.
Got the feds after us now.
You're gonna get the cops.
They're already coming.
Are they coming?
I'm gonna hide.
Jump in the car, man.
I'll hide.
But I don't know, man. If you guys start watching this video and you have anything that you want to add to this discussion, you know, be my guest to put everything down in the comment section.
Yeah, definitely. We'll check back on them, won't we? We'll keep an eye on them.
Yeah, help us figure this out. And, you know, maybe if you have anything to add at all, you know, any little things you think we should investigate having to do with Ursula. Because there may be things that you guys have figured out that we didn't bring up. And I definitely want to cover this all. We will try our best to be very approachable. If you have good comment, good content, you have something good, just hit us up, leave a message, and got Twitter, so I guess I'll have to give you my Twitter, and you can put it on there, and you can put yours in the description or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
we'll sort all that out for the next stream. We'll make sure it's obviously, we'll get all the information ready on there for everyone, so that's not a problem. And
we're sorry, guys, if this is you know, disorganized or whatever. This is just a couple of guys who found some stuff. I mean, seriously, we're just a couple of guys who love the game, and we found some stuff, and we've been discussing it. And I told Johnny the other day, I said, man, I wish I knew how to do videos, or I wish I had the ability to do videos. He said, you know, we could do a live stream, and we could do the live stream and just leave it on there as a video. And I thought, yeah, we could do that.
Definitely.
And so we've kind of been planning this out for, I don't know, I guess about a week or so.
Yeah, that's about a week or so, yeah. Me being on night shifts and the time difference between us, obviously me being in the UK and you being in the US, we've got, what is it, about 6 hours time difference between us.
Yeah.
So, well, that's good. We'll work around it, we'll sort it.
Yeah. Well, I think that we should end it here, man.
Yeah,
we're
sounds good.
In the tunnel with the cops coming.
That's it. The cops coming.
And,
so yeah.
But like we said, if you guys have any questions or you have anything you want to add to this, especially about Trevor, Ursula, Trevor's mom, Mrs. Thornhill, Nigel, anything that's connected to that, like if there's any more alpha male signs, that's what I'd like to see. If there's any more alpha male signs, if there's any more crazy things about Omega. We didn't even get into the painting on Omega's trailer. Maybe we can say that for the next time.
That's it. To be honest, there's that much that we've not covered that we've been speaking about for the last couple of weeks that we've probably got enough for about another 7 or 8 streams, just as we are at the moment.
We do. We do.
So,
there's a lot more. There's a lot more. If you've noticed in some of the places, you'll see the word onion written in different places, like graffiti. And I think that's a subtle hint that they're trying to tell you there's so many different layers to this, and it's going to bring tears to your eyes trying to figure it out. You know?
Makes sense.
But I'm serious, man. But
definitely.
Anyway, guys, I guess that should be all for now because I don't want to make it too long. You guys won't be able to watch it all. Cool. So I guess that's it, Johnny. If you want to kill it.
Yeah, cool. Alright, yeah, thanks for joining us, and obviously people watching after the live stream, drop your comments, be very much appreciated, any likes. And yeah, this is episode 1. Well, hopefully we'll organise episode 2 probably tomorrow night, more than likely. And again then, thanks a lot for watching. See you later.
Take it easy, guys.